how are you like handling the fame right now? Do people recognize you on the streets?
Just curious, let's say when you are looking for boyfriend, husband, do you have this kind of requirement that the person must be careful with money management when it comes to spending? Is more detailed?
In the world of personal finance, I feel like the thing that gets the most attention is always investing. When the other parts of personal finance that are equally as important, which is like the mindset stuff, the financial discipline, yeah, I'm so into it. I actually approached my friend and I asked them, like, how's your finances? Do you need help? Can I take a look at your finances?
Welcome back to another episode of the Backholder Pod. So today, it's another special guest episode. So today we have with us in the house is actually Lisa. So Lisa actually has started her own YouTube channel sometime back under the name Lisa's Adulting in Singapore. So I believe ours is the second channel that basically feature her showing her face, because if you look at go through her own channel, she just does voiceover styles. But I think something that really impressed me the most, I actually started following your journey because YouTube algo has picked up one of your videos, and there were a few that really got really crazy viral. So one of the biggest ones was how I live on a $3,200 monthly salary. I think that video got 400 over 1,000 views. So before I think we go into the details and maybe your journey and stuff like that, maybe we just want to quickly share your own journey and how you started out YouTube, etc.
So my YouTube channel, I created the account back in December 2021. It was I thought about it on the train. It was an idea that just sprung to me on the train. And because at that time my work was quite slow, and so I was trying to find hobbies or other things to do in my free time. So I thought about doing a YouTube channel, because by that point I had already moved in. I already bought my house. It had been about 8 months. Then I was also watching a lot of personal finance YouTubers, and I was very inspired by them. Kelvin was one of them. I was also watching a lot of other Kelvin very shy. Yeah, I was watching a lot of Kelvin stuff. Then a lot of American YouTubers also that talked about personal finance. And I thought, there's no female YouTuber that I was watching. But then later on, I found out there's so many, which was also great because at that time, I didn't know many local YouTubers. I created my account, and then my first video idea was talking about how I budget my salary, because that's the thing that I know the best. So I started out with that video and I published it, I think at the last week of December 2021. But it really only picked up in February. I think somebody posted that video in a Seedly Facebook group. And then I started getting a lot of people subscribing and also watching. And that's why that video got almost 400,000 views, because it went quite viral. And yeah, that was how I started. I've just been uploading here and there.
But you don't upload often nowadays, right?
Because it ended up being quite time consuming, and also I don't really have because it's not my full time. It's not my full time job, and so sometimes I get a bit lazy, or it takes quite long for me to make a video, because I like to script my videos first, and then I make the visuals for it, and then I record the VO and edit it. So the entire process, it takes quite long for me. And then also over the months, I found a lot of other hobbies that take up my time. Yeah. So schedule wise, it ended up not being something that I could do quite consistently, but I value the space that I've created, because I think a lot of people have sent me really nice messages, and I think it's a useful resource to have. Yeah, to have one person's record of her personal finance journey.
So how are you handling the fame right now? Do people recognize you on the streets?
I don't know if there's much fame. What fame? No, there was one time somebody recognized me, and it was on a really random. It was a tour event, a local tour walking around Bugis Street, a local tour event. And then somebody at the end of the tour said, are you Lisa? And I said yes. So that was the first time. But otherwise, I've never been recognized, or at least nobody that has come up to me. I don't know. And also because most of my videos don't have my face, you would have to intentionally look me up to know what I look like. Have you all ever been recognized? Does it happen a lot?
Can recognize your voice.
No, nobody. Some of my friends from university, they watched my videos, but then they didn't know it was me.
Even no longer your friends now.
Wait, so your friends don't know you as Lisa?
No, yeah, because Lisa is part of my name, but it's not my full name.
So your name is something like Mona Lisa, so they know you as Mona.
Yeah.
Well, Eric got Reese, yeah.
Part of the name, huh?
Yeah, it's part of the name.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I respond to both because my parents call me Lisa, like my extended family also. So my friends, they don't know that it's me, or they didn't used to know.
So I have been recognized once before. So, like quite long ago, when we just started Backholder Pod, right? There was only like a few hundred subscribers.
Mm,
So those were really hardcore. And so I
mm.
think one of them saw me at my neighborhood coffee shop,
Oh my
and then
god.
he was whispering to his friend like. Then I thought like, wow, this person I haven't finished eating. Keep pointing at my table like
Oh, you
macam
thought they
want me to eat.
asking?
Yeah. Then after that, I finished eating and I was like quite pissed off. Like, okay, you can have the table. Then after that, he said, wait, are you from the backholder pot? Then I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. So that was a misunderstanding.
Actually, I wanted to ask Lisa, like for that particular 20 minutes video, right? How long does it take? Like the whole process?
Because I made that video during my leave. Because I usually take 2 weeks leave at the end of every year. So I worked on it for 5 full days, like normal working hour days. But you know my HDB video, the one that's 49 minutes long, that one took me 3 weeks. But I was also working on it after that was when I was just working normally. But because it was such a long video, it took me 3 weeks from because I was already writing point form, but then scripting it and then filming it and then making the visuals and editing it all together. It took 3 weeks of quite intense work. Yeah, because I had to fact check like a lot of the dates also because it had been a while by then. Yeah, so some videos can be. It really depends. Like from between 2 weeks to 1 month.
It's like producing a Netflix episode already.
Yeah, but it's one person.
Do you learn from anyone, like in terms of how to create all this content? Because you know, like when we create content, right? Some people will say, okay, if you want it to viral, you keep the video within like 10 minutes and so on, right? So you don't go like 50 minutes, right? But yours is like forget about the rules, then just whack 15 minutes and then just viral again. So it's like it's magic to us.
Oh, I think the viral only happened once, the 400k video.
The others also not.
Yeah, lor. I think a lot of them are all quite hard hitting. They are mostly like
Oh.
200k. You have quite a few that are 200k as well.
No, honestly, maybe that's why I'm not bigger than what I have now. Because I don't have any. I don't really have a formula. Honestly, it's just a topic that I happen to be very passionate about, or something that I really want to talk about, and then I'll write my script, and then it goes from there. So it always starts with my script first and what I want to say about the topic. Then the visuals. Recently, I've gotten my friend to help me with the visuals because she's a lot better. Like her visuals are much cuter. I think the last 2 videos, it's my friend who. A couple of videos, I can't remember if it's the last 2, it's her helping me with the visuals. But the piecing together is all on iMovie, that one I do. The thumbnail also is like, I remember that I have to do a thumbnail, then I quickly make one on Canva. I try very hard not to have clickbait titles because personally, that's not my style also. So I just try very hard to make it very like my personality, even though I know that it might not perform well in the algorithm, or it's not like my most recent video was about my online shopping ban. That one like very like, oh, who cares about this? But I just wanted to talk about it because it's something that I'm working on. So I just made the video. Yeah. So some videos don't do very well. Like I made a video about my LASIK experience because I was very like into it. I wanted to talk about it to all my friends. So I ended up making a video about it. Yeah. So it really depends. Just whatever I feel like I wanna do. Yeah, and I'm very grateful that some of them do well. Yeah, and quite expected also the ones that do well because it's the stuff about my salary, like the things that people kepo about. Then I know those will do well. Then the videos that don't perform so well are the ones that are very like niche to me and my personality.
Talking about the salary, right? Your company is okay with that, that you sharing this kind of information, because sometimes it can be sensitive, right? When you know, especially HR, yeah.
Yeah, so my current company doesn't mind. My previous company, I obviously didn't tell them, but I also didn't tell them not because I was worried about the salary, but because I was scared that they would catch me moonlighting, like in a way, because I was, yeah. But yeah, so honest, and I think maybe that's also why I didn't show my face, because I didn't want anybody at work to find out that it was me. Yeah, and they're fine with it. But of course, dependent on company, dependent on how strict the policy is. Because I found out also after that some companies, like some of my friends, there's a specific clause in their employment that you cannot divulge your salary, but mine didn't have lah, so it was okay.
Actually, I wanted to hear comments from Kelvin. Because usually internally, right, Kelvin will always destroy our ideas for thumbnail, and but we of course we trust him lah. Cause he's so just wanted your take on Lisa's process.
Her process is okay. Well, it works for her. Like averaging, okay lah. She has a lot of videos, like 200k. I don't think I even have anything close to that kind of views. I think people just like her for her style lor. First is for voice. That was the first thing that caught my attention for voice. Then it was a thumbnail. It looks very simple, but it's definitely her style lah. No other people has done it so genuinely. So your earlier videos were talking about money, right? But were you actually good at money before all this?
No, I mean, depends on how, like, what is good with money also, right? It was only when I started working, and it was also during the pandemic, then it was the boom of personal finance content in 2020. Then I started reading Seedly, The Woke Salary Man. I think Kelvin also had his videos around that time, right? Yeah, it was during circuit breaker that I was consuming all this content. But before then, honestly, no, because, well, I was careful with money. Because I grew up, my parents, we were quite, not poor, but we weren't doing very well. Like, that was my life all through my childhood. And so I knew that I didn't grow up being able to spend on a lot of things, and like we were always having to be very thrifty. And that was the extent of my knowledge about money. But I was and still am a very organized person. Even when I was 16, I started tracking my expenses, and that habit followed me all throughout university, into my working years. But that was the extent of it. So it was really, and I feel like the stuff that we talk about personal finance, about investing, insurance, all this, none of it is like very intuitive knowledge, right? Like, you really have to seek out and learn about it. So unless somebody like sparks that interest in you, you might never go and look at it, and then you might never know. I think at the very least, I was careful with money. And then everything else I had to like consciously learn.
Yeah, I think it's the discipline part, the part that you diligently recording your expenses, right? I think many people still don't have that kind of habit. Even I myself, I don't record that much. not at least not the item that I spend on. So just curious, let's say when you are looking for partners, right? Looking for boyfriend, husband, do you have this kind of requirement that the person must be similar to you, like at least careful with money management, and then when it comes to spending, it's more detailed instead of like just spend whenever person like?
Not necessarily. I think also because firstly it's a personality thing. Like my recording was also my effort to just be more aware of my own spending patterns, and also because I had money in the bank that I wanted to keep track of. So no, I think it's not so much about being good with money as it is about being meticulous and with paying careful attention to detail. Yeah.
It's okay. I think this one, every family, at least you need someone who is good at tracking all this. You don't have to be everyone to play this role.
Yeah.
At least you're good with that.
Yeah. So I am the family's money manager.
Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, ask a little bit off track question. Has anyone ever told you that your voice is very melodious? Like, it's just like very soothing to listen to. Like any radio station reach out to you, like do you want to do a gig with us, like part-time, ad hoc?
Just because of my voice? No.
Never.
That's so funny, because that was like the very first video, the one that went viral. A lot of people say, but then I feel like in real life, nobody say this to me.
No, because you don't talk like that in real life, right?
Oh, do I not? Okay, maybe I ask
Actually,
my
she
friend.
does that. She does. That's how she talk in real life.
Really?
Kelvin's the only one who's met me in real life.
Okay.
What do you think, Kelvin?
Yeah, she has potential. Like if you didn't do a finance channel, right, you could just do like a podcast without showing face, like or like reading children's storybook, right? Wow, I think that would do very well.
So Lisa, I have a suggestion, right? Because
Mm.
I'm a science teacher, right?
Mm.
I was thinking like, why not you do a control kind of channel? What do I mean by control channel, right? So that channel, right, basically you just talk nonsense. Like you don't talk anything with substance, just talk nonsense. Like, oh, today nice weather and all that. Then your main channel, you talk the real stuff lah. Then you
Mm.
have control. So you just basically like just talking in your voice, and then you see whether or not both channel grows at the same rate. If
Mm.
they, that means that is the voice.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I did consider, because I also wanted to make videos about home stuff, because that's the kind of content I also watch on YouTube.
Mhm.
But then it felt like my channel is the content very specific already, so I should do a side channel. Yeah, Eric, I will take into consideration.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
thank you. That's very
I
sweet
would
of
like,
you.
yeah, I would like a share of the monetization. No, just kidding, just kidding. Yeah, like very nice voice. So
Yeah,
okay,
that
so
was
that
my
was
impression as well. Like when I first watched the video, the one that got viral. I was
yeah.
thinking,
Thank you.
the voice different.
Thank you.
Now we know why our channel like don't have 200K. We need to change our voice. What's going on, man? Can we use a new like software? Let's switch into Lisa's voice.
Have you ever thought of making your YouTube job a full-time thing?
I've considered it, but I don't know. I think I'm too scared to make it a full-time thing.
Maybe because the income is not yet there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I cannot really. I'm too scared to have an unstable income right now. Yeah, because I'm supporting my family as well. Because I know the potential for it to go big is high, but the risk is also too high. It's like investing. I cannot the risk. I cannot take the risk. And also, I did consider, because there was a time when I almost wanted to quit my previous job because it was a bit too overwhelming. The workload was too much, and my backup plan was YouTube. But then I resolved things, and my workload was reduced, and my pay was increased, so I continued. I've considered, but I haven't given it serious thought. Like in terms of how, like the kind of content I'll make, like how, like other areas of other income
Right.
streams and all.
Right. Okay. So back to your like journey, right? You bought a house at around 24 years old, I think, with your mom, right? How did it actually feel like? Like, okay, first thing before even that, how do you even able to afford a house at 24 years old?
How I was able to afford. So the house is under my name because my mom is not Singaporean, but we could form a family nucleus. That's a HDB term, where my mom and we apply together, but it's under my name because I'm the Singaporean. Because otherwise, as a 24-year-old, you're not eligible for public housing unless you're an orphan or you are married. So as a single person, you cannot buy your own flat. I wasn't eligible for BTO also because my mom is not Singaporean. My brother back then was still a minor, so he cannot for anything. How I could apply was because my mom and I were considered as one family nucleus. And then on the finance side, because my dad passed away just the year before, and his CPF, like he had CPF money that was given back to us. So with his CPF money and my life savings, because throughout university I got a lot of bursaries, and I also happened to take a study loan. So it was actually my university study loan, but I didn't use the money all throughout university. So I was just holding on to it, because back then it was not interest bearing until 5 years after I graduated. I think now they're not so nice anymore because my brother also took a study loan and his is interest bearing upon graduation. Yeah, so I was just holding on to all that money, and then plus my dad's CPF, my father's CPF money. And with those savings, I could afford a 2-room HDB. For the full story, you can watch my 15-minute long video. You can 2 times speed because sometimes I talk very slow. Yeah, so that's how I could afford it. Yeah, so without my father's money, I wouldn't have been able to afford it.
But right now, you are able to afford paying the monthly mortgage, right? Without any issue.
Yeah. Even before, my monthly mortgage is $900, which is quite low compared to a lot of other mortgages, I think. And it was an issue. It was more of a strain previously when my salary was 3,000 only. Because now my salary is 4.5. It's like fully covered by my CPF, so I don't even think about it. But then last time when it was 3K, I had to keep paying in cash. I think about $200. So it was very stressful that time. But then thankfully my income increased. My stress was reduced.
So I mean, this whole thing has sort of forced you to become an adult lah. So, what does being an adult mean to you?
I think being an adult is not just an age thing, right? For me personally, I think it's being able to take responsibility for your actions. I think it's also about being a bit more mature, being able to take blame if you have to, and being considerate of other people. Yeah, because I feel like I know a lot of adults who probably don't show all these traits, even though you would think that they're an adult. But yeah, so when I graduated university, I felt that responsibility quite heavily. So that's when I saw myself as being an adult, when I had to step up.
Yeah, it's basically like a do or die kind of situation already.
Sorry, Lisa, if you don't mind me asking, can I know, are you like over or under 25 this year?
I am turning 28 this year.
Chicken, how old are you?
I'm turning 26 this year. No, because from the way I think when I listen to how she portray and delivers, right? It's not somebody that I expect 28. I think the perspective and the way you view life and you conduct yourself, it's probably Eric's level. But Eric is let's not divulge his age.
Lisa, how old do you think I am?
34.
Nice.
What is it?
I'm 45.
The first number is wrong.
45. Wow. But to be fair, I can't really tell people's ages after 35, I feel. Because after 35, they could be like 50, they could be 40, and they kind of look the same to me. You're aging well.
Okay. I was happy for a while there.
What is Eric's secret to looking young?
I like to hang out with Chiking.
Hey, that's a good one.
Rub off on his youth.
Actually, it's true. They say if your circle, if you hang out with a young crowd, you'll seem younger.
But no, the funny thing is, Bunti keeps saying I'm very uncle, right? I believe so.
Because Eric rub off on you.
No, Chiking hang out too much with Kelvin.
Hang out with any one of us also will become a lot more mature.
But I think circling back, right, I just wanted to ask Lisa, right, like at least from my own perspective when I was in uni also, there was a lot of consumerism, a lot of comparisons, a lot of things. Were you even caught up by all those things back then when you were a lot more carefree, I guess? Like there was less on your plate.
For sure. I think it was can I call it a culture shock? So my first year of university, I think I had this impression, maybe from the stuff that I consume, I thought everybody in uni was going to be broke because, there's that trope of the broke college kid, right? I really thought everybody was going to be, I don't know, poor or really broke. But it wasn't the case because in my course, there were a lot of like really fashionable people. So they were always very well dressed. And I was so intimidated because I came from a JC background. So that means up until that point, I had been wearing a uniform most of the time. And then suddenly in uni, I had to dress myself. And I had no idea how to dress myself fashionably. So seeing all my course-mates dress really well, that put a lot of pressure on me. And then I remember my food budget at the time was $5 a day. So that means like $2 Cai Fan every meal. But then I overheard a friend say like she wanted to save money. So her food budget was $10 and I was so shocked. So it's little things like that. I mean, so with all the pressures, I definitely shopped a lot online. It taught me a lot lah. So I can't say that I regretted it because it taught me a lot about my own preferences, like how I like to shop, what I like to wear, what kind of things make me happy, what I value. But yeah, it was a time of exploration and a lot of pressure to keep up with my classmates around me. Yeah, so I feel that I think after I graduated, I feel a lot more assured lah. But back then, because it's really like your circle, right? The people that you're around with all the time, I definitely felt it. I definitely over-consumed a lot. Spend money that I shouldn't have spent.
Is this
Yeah.
this is a situation among girls, or is it like same across gender?
I don't know. You tell me. I only know. I
Because
only know for.
at different generations. I'm just curious because I don't know. Maybe I personally, I think it's just because of the background. So I never have this kind of pressure, even though I don't spend and don't dress well. But
Oh, that's
I think guys just don't compare too much. I think just focus on playing game, the kind of attitude.
Yeah, maybe because all throughout, even my like from JC until university, I was predominantly like my classmates were all predominantly girls. So possibly, yeah.
I think actually I think it might be just girls. Like for guys, right? I went to uni wearing slippers and short pants.
I think it also depends on your circle. Maybe thankfully y'all were hanging around people who didn't pressure you or didn't make you feel pressured in that way.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was in the computer science course, so all the guys were like nerd guys who never leave their room.
Yeah, because I'm thinking this one, because I asked this is like, I don't know whether this is girl problem versus guy, or is it like the time? Because, we are not that young, different generations. So is it something that because of the, like IG influence and so on, so people just, compare more? Is this like more kind like recent phenomena? So I'm just curious. Yeah.
Oh, possibly because when I was in uni, Instagram was already a huge thing. I was in uni from 2015 to 2019. Yeah, so IG was already a huge thing. Online shopping, very common already. So it was very easy to buy things online. Maybe coupled with the fact that my circle, not even my close circle, like just my course mates, the people who are that I'm around very frequently. Yeah, all those things contributed to me maybe feeling like I had to participate and overconsume. I mean, it was a period of experimentation also. So yeah, I don't like to say that I regret things. So it taught me many painful lessons. And I think because of that, I am the person I am now. So all is good.
Can I ask, like, I think among, let's say, the youngsters, right, those who don't manage their money well, right, at least one sign we can observe is that the credit card bill, that people can't just pay off their credit card. So let's say among, like, talking about yourself or the friends around you, right, do you see this kind of problem? Like, let's say, maybe start from you. Do you, like, clear off your credit card, like, instantly, that kind of, and about your friends?
Well, in university, I didn't have a credit card. So it was just my debit card. So I knew that I couldn't spend anymore when I had no more money. But now, so today's youths, they have the buy now, pay later, right? Which I think is so scary to have that much like the responsibility of to allow you to have access to credit at an age where, like, say, maybe you don't even have a stable income yet. Like as a student, you're probably just freelancing or working part-time. I'm thankful that I only got my first credit card the moment I started working, and it was also in the midst of my financial literacy journey, like that period during circuit breaker when I was doing a lot of research. So I already knew like the potential risks of having a credit card. So from the moment I got my credit card, I never treated it like it was like money. I always treated it like a debit card, and I would never spend money that I didn't have. So yeah, I always pay it in full. It used to confuse me so much that, say, like the US would talk about credit card debt, right? And about people who say they would just max out their credit card and then like throw it away and then have the banks just chase them. Like, that's because I'm such a rule follower, right? It's like, why would I get into trouble with a bank like that? So I honestly, I'm pretty confused. But I think as I get older, I sort of understand also. It depends, again, it's the people that you surround yourself with. Maybe it's your own understanding of consequences also. Like if you have a very childish mind and you feel like nothing you do has consequences, you would engage in this kind of behavior. It's also a lot about financial literacy and like having access to that also. It's a lot of different factors. Yeah, but I'm grateful that I got my credit card when I did and that I'm able to use it responsibly. And I do advocate for using it. Like some of my friends, when they tell me they still use a debit card, I have to tell them, like, why are you still using a debit card? You're like fully employed with a stable income. But then also I caveat with like, but you should use it this way. Don't think of it as like money that you can just spend.
I'm just curious, what is like your biggest spend on your credit card? Like since the day you started working, with YouTube income and all that, what is like your biggest spend other than the house?
Maybe my mattress. It was $2,000 plus the frame and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like your biggest spend.
Like one-time charge on my card.
Can be installment, but the whole amount.
Yeah, I think my mattress lor. Yeah, but of course it's like I already had the money put aside, the $2,000, and then I just put it on a card so that I could get the cashback, and I paid it off when the bill came out.
Because I was just curious, like what do you actually allow yourself to spend on? Have you heard of money Dao? No.
What's that?
Okay. Never mind. Because there's this person, right, that talks about everyone has a money Dao, which means that it is an area of your life that you're willing to splurge on. But you do it, yeah, you do it responsibly, because all the other areas in your life you cut down. You have no interest in them. Like for example, your hobby is like photography, so you're willing to splurge on the lens. But all the like food lah, fashion and all this, we like nah.
Okay. And then from that perspective, maybe what would I, like a category that I would not mind spending on? I think
Yeah.
generally, maybe it's more of a philosophy. I try to spend on better quality things. Because I used to be the kind of person that would just buy a lot of very cheap things and many cheap things. Then they would like clutter my house, or they would break, and I would feel so awful because in a way the money just flushed down the toilet. It's like they don't last very long. And so I always try, before I make any purchase that's like a lasting thing, so like not food or anything, I try to think about whether or not it can last a long time and whether I will value it for a long time. Then a lot of things that I cut out were, I used to be really obsessed with skincare, and then I would buy a lot, but then I only have one face. So, and a lot of these things is like I don't end up using, or I feel like it's kind of a gimmick. So I really like cut down, and I stopped even looking at different things. I mean, I still enjoy looking, I still enjoy window shopping, but I stopped trying different things, and I just stuck to the things that I know really work for me and are value for money. And then ironically, my skin got better after I stopped buying so much skincare. Yeah.
So it's a scam. Those kind of skincare is making skin worse.
It could be the skincare that's making it worse.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. Like just trying too many things and never like sticking to one thing.
I still didn't get what was the area that you don't mind splurging on.
Or things that are better quality. It's like it's a general philosophy. It can be anything from like food to like household products. I buy less also because I spend on like the nicer things. So it means I can only buy fewer of them.
Like you buy a first class ticket, air ticket?
No, I don't think I'm a first class person. I cannot justify it. Unless I am a millionaire, I cannot justify a first class ticket.
Lisa, I went through your video. You were saying that you use the DBS credit card for your payments, right? Is it the DBS Live Fresh card?
I know they nerfed the
the nerf is quite bad.
Yeah. But cause a lot of my spending is food and groceries also.
Right.
But because I'm so used to the card now, my mom also has a supplementary card. I don't know, do you have any recommendations? I'm so into the DBS ecosystem. It's like, I know they nerfed it, but it's like the inertia to move card is so...
I think what I wanted to ask was like, why don't you look, because you're saying you spend on quality stuff, right? So why not upgrade to like mouse card instead? Because you do have funds for holidays, so it's not like you are not traveling overseas. So why not change to a mouse card instead?
Honestly, inertia. Because I find it so complicated to... And maybe I haven't done enough research. I did try though, at the beginning of, basically when they announced the DBS Live Fresh changes, I was looking into other options. I really love the instant gratification of cashback, so that works really well for me. Then the miles card, I think I tried to calculate, say like a return ticket to Seoul, and how much I would have to spend to get a return ticket, and how much a return ticket would actually cost. I don't know, it didn't really add up to me. So I, like, in my head, I felt like it wasn't worth the effort to like keep track of the miles, to redeem it for plane tickets. I don't know. It's just not something that I wanted to put mental energy into researching. Yeah,
Yeah, because
honestly, that's it. That's my reason.
Because I've been trying to brainwash Chicken to getting a mouse card. Then it says like if I sit on a business class ticket once, I will never be able to stay normal again.
No, it's like when you're young, right? Like you thought that last time when you're young, you thought $1,000 is a lot. But then when you start earning adult money, then you're like thinking, it's not a lot. So if you can delay that. But disclosure, I do have a mouse card. It's just that I still charge to. I mean, if there's a choice, I'll charge to a cashback card.
I think the instant gratification of a cashback card is too great. And yeah, like my friends tried to tell me about having lounge access also and all this. I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm just.
Do you use the
lazy.
shop bag?
Yes, I use shop bag.
That's like one of the most effortless. You just shop bag and then it charged to your credit card. Then what? This one?
Yeah.
That one got mouse or whatever. Wow, that's the best hack.
I tried using the Chris Plus app also. I think I used it once and then I got 6 points and then I just deleted the app. If it's too
Too much
maybe
work.
I'm just not a miles convert yet. Out of pure laziness. There is no other reason.
Like what Lisa said, right? It's mental energy, like because you need time, then track really later expire, then how? Then you screw up all the progress.
I'm very scared of the expiring points also. I've tried a few. I've tried DBS Altitude. I've tried DBS Woman's card like once and then I closed it. It's just, so I'm just sticking with my sad DBS Live Fresh. Not bad. I still get like $20+ a month.
You should look at other cards, other cashback cards because Live Fresh, I think there's stop awarding points for certain common spend categories. I forgot what was it.
Food and groceries, no more.
Oh yeah, then it's quite jialat lah.
So I can only get on my shopping and my public transport.
Can I ask, like, in terms of your YouTube content, right? Let's say if you expand your current content, right? What kind of topics that you will expand more? Will you cover topics like, like after you research on credit card, maybe share more on credit card, or will you consider other topics like investment topics and so on?
On my same channel, right? Not a second channel.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I have all these ideas, but whether or not I'll execute on them is another thing. Investment, my usual thing is like I learn something and then once I feel like I have a good sense of it from my perspective, then I'll feel confident to make a video. Yeah, I foresee myself making videos about things once I have a good grasp on them personally, that I feel confident sharing about it online. Because once it's online, it's like you have a lot of responsibility to whoever is watching. So yeah, once I get there, then I possibly would make a video. So the videos I have on my channel are topics that I've really thought about a lot, that I feel very confident in sharing. I have a video on credit card, but it's quite an old one. But the thing is, the principles in there are still the same, that I still believe, even if the credit cards are different now. Like the credit card rewards back then that I talked about, they're different. Yeah, but the principles are the same. So I kind of want to make content like that, where it's the principles are timeless and enduring, even if like the specific products have changed a bit.
On the investment topics, is there any things that is challenging? Like you are still not feeling safe to, like go into more in detail?
I think personally for my brand, like Lisa's Adulting in Singapore, and also my own thoughts, my own opinion and perspective, I think investing is a bit overrated. It is important, but in the world of personal finance, I feel like the thing that gets the most attention is always investing. When the other parts of personal finance that are equally as important, which is like the mindset stuff, the financial discipline, understanding delayed gratification, all that is just as important. And because there's so much content out there about investing already, that's like good content. I feel like talking about the other aspects, like the more mental stuff, like about your own discipline, your personal beliefs and attitudes towards money, I think that interests me more. Yeah, so that's where I like those are the kinds of topics that I would prefer to write about also. And so if that's why my investing video is taking a while to formulate, because I am trying to think about how I would address, like how I would talk about it. How would Lisa talk about it on her channel? And what principles can I stand by? And what do I want to share? I think the people who follow me and the audience that I have, I don't think I wouldn't be fair to them for me to just make a video without putting forth like my philosophies first. Yeah, that's what I think.
You talk a lot about philosophy, mindset, and all this. Do you have like a favorite book on mindset, philosophy that you kind of subscribe to, or it's all just plainly 100% your own thoughts?
No, I have no own thoughts. Everything that I think is influenced by the stuff I've read, the people I watch.
Which one would you say is the biggest influence on your worldview, mindset?
I think it's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, which is not even a personal finance book. But one thing she emphasizes constantly is like, don't like only keep things in your life that spark joy, and be very attuned to that. So I carry it everywhere I go. So say like if you want to cut your spending, having a very clear idea of what sparks joy can maybe help you understand what it is that you're spending on unnecessarily, and that already helps you like maybe bring down your spending to something that is within your means or below your means. And even with like a lot of personal finance, like financial literacy is also time and energy to learn these things, right? I think being mindful about where you put in your energy. So for instance, the whole cashback versus miles thing, is doing the research for this like a meaningful use of my time? Is it time that brings me joy? Not necessarily. So I do what I do like enough to maybe know that this is the choice I want to make, but I don't spend too much time. Yeah. And same with investing also. I think it's very intimidating when you first get into investing, right? Like there's all these terms, and then people talk about understanding the stock market, choosing stocks, understanding companies. Then how do you know if a company is a good company to invest in? You can look at their all these reports and stuff. But if that is like something that's an activity that is meaningful to you, then that's great. But if it's something that you don't really care for, then just invest passively. Like, what are your goals? I think understanding what you value and what are your goals also, that's a huge part of like having a good grasp of your finances and what is realistic for you.
So what would you say to someone, right, that if he has bought an investment and then it's every day lower and lower, like for years, then you feel initially there's joy, but after that there's anguish. Will you
like
tell him to cut off?
buying that investment brings them joy. What investment
initially.
is it? Like a stock, a company stock? Ayo, then I think hard to say, because later I say like sell it and then it increases. I don't know. I do not play with buying individual stocks.
Okay.
But yeah, you make your decisions.
Okay. No comments.
No comments. I hope that's not your only investment.
I think maybe just a few, just because generally it's a personal, you talk about personal finance, right? Just wanted to ask if it's like maybe a young adult, like similar profile, 20s, mid-20s, late 20s, if they have trouble saving money and then they ask you for like, how? Like what would be your general comments be?
Oh, it depends on the friend and depends on why they are having trouble saving money also. I would probably ask for more information, because sometimes it could be that their fixed expenses are just too high. Like say they are financially supporting their parents, like I am, or they have to pay the utilities. Like a lot of their expenses are outside of their control. And that's really tricky also, because they might not have income left over to save in the first place. Then in that case, it's not really about saving money. It's about increasing your earning power, possibly finding a new job. But if say they are not supporting anybody, they have no dependents, they're in a like decent paying job, maybe fresh grad salary, they have no financial obligations yet, and they are having trouble saving money because they don't know, because they always pay off like their credit card bill and that wipes out their entire paycheck, then that is something they can control. And I think the first step is understanding what exactly they're spending on, and if whether or not they have a grasp on their spending habits. Things start there. Like I love to tell people to start tracking their expenses, even though I know it sounds very like, I think especially if it seems very tiring, doesn't it? But it's honestly not. It's a bit like telling people, oh, please eat your vegetables. In the moment, you just don't want to do it. and you think it won't make a huge difference because it's just one small thing. Like how, like it's just a small first step to understanding where your money is going. And once you know where it's going, then you can like figure out a plan to manage it.
Actually, on the side, right, does your friends do approach you for advice, or like they'll tell you their whole family life story and then ask you like what they should do upon knowing that you're so into this space?
Yeah, I'm so into it. Like honestly, no, I actually approach my friends and I ask them like, how's your finances? Do you need help? Can I take a look? I don't have that many friends. So the few friends, I actually ask them directly, like, can I help? Yeah, like I have a friend who is getting married soon. So then she approached me to like talk about finances with her partner, with her boyfriend. Yeah, but honestly, I would actually approach first. But then I stop because I feel like, okay, if they're ready, they'll ask me. I don't want to impose also. But it's fun for me. And I feel useful to my friends if I'm able to help them in this way.
Actually, you can try one thing because we had another guest. Her name was Demi last week, 2 weeks ago. What she did was she created this thing where people can pay.
Or like a consultancy.
Yeah, it's not really that, but it's more like a chatting, buying you coffee to ask to speak to you. So
okay.
you can consider doing that.
Who would ask me?
That's your hobby.
Okay. I'll think about it. I feel so scared also because sometimes it's like could potentially ruin a person's life if you don't.
That's why I need to learn, like I need to hedge.
Yeah.
I need to keep hedging.
Yeah.
It's good at that.
That's a good idea.
Maybe just a last question to round up the entire discussion, right? Like I think looking back now, maybe like if you look back 10 years and then if you tell, do you have anything to tell yourself, like your 17 or your 18-year-old self, like after going through everything, the different twists and turns and challenges and stuff like that, what would be your biggest takeaway, or what would you tell yourself, your 17-year-old self?
I think I'll tell her to spend more time with her family because she doesn't have a lot of time left with them. No, that's the only thing. The other things she will learn as she goes through life.
Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. So as always, we'll leave the link to Lisa's channel in the description below. So do show her some support. I'm not too sure when the next video is going to come up. Maybe you can get a commitment from Lisa. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the discussion and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.